Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of TEW 2016. Of course, I'm Mia, and today we're going to be running a 1998 database, The Art of War, courtesy of Gennady, of course. And I apologize for being gone so long. I've been dealing with a lot personally, and now I think I've got enough of it under control so that we can get rolling again, so that I can come to you guys and bring you guys good content. So without further ado, let's get rolling. Also, I'm going to be running 2 monitors today. That's something very different for me. So bear with me as I figure this out. Alright, so we've got this loaded now. And of course, let's be Vince McMahon because it's accurate. Of course, we see that Vince McMahon has all these negative relationships, a couple positive relationships though, so that's pretty cool. Although I'm not really sure why Vince has a loyalty to Chris Jericho already. That's a little weird to me, but we'll go with it. So let's select Vince's avatar, and let's run the WWF. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cancel Shotgun Saturday Night because that's just going to get in the way. I don't do B shows anyway. I don't like them. I don't see a point in them. I don't care if syndication charges me $275,000. That's chump change. Okay. Now, we start off with Vader having morale issues. Apparently he's angry at his push, even though he's an upper mid-carder. I mean, we have tension with him anyway. So let's go ahead and, yeah, simmering tension. Let's go ahead and cut him. Make Shawn Michaels happy. And, you know, Shawn Michaels isn't going to be a wrestler. He's going to be a personality, which honestly sucks. But I don't really like him anyway. I don't even know who Tennessee Lee honestly is, so we're going to cut him. Savio Vega's in the last month of his contract. He's just not really that useful for me. Sonny can get cut. That makes a lot of people happy, of course. Ahmed Johnson, we can go ahead and cut. He's got 6 months left on his contract anyway. He's not good enough to justify keeping. Now, let's look at any push a wrestler and see what we've got here. We've got a lot of interesting talent right now. Giant Silva, we're going to cut you. This guy, it says he doesn't have anything going for him other than size. Let's fire him. Also, an occasional wrestler, 29, just isn't good for our company. The Jackal, I don't even know who you are, so we're going to cut you. How are you, Tilly? Good to see you back. I'm sorry it's been a while. I had to get my stuff in order as we cut Golga. Mark Canterbury we can cut. Well, no. Maybe. Yeah, he's cuttable. And Dennis Knight can be cut. Other than that, we are left with a relatively small roster, but this should... Oh, and Scorpio. But this roster should ultimately pay off for us. especially considering that I like to have a smaller roster anyway, plus it gives us room to expand. So, let's go look at storylines and end all these, because honestly, I like to start my own storylines when I do this stuff. So, let's do a new storyline. Well, who's our world champ right now? Because we're gonna keep that canon at least. Steve Austin is obviously our world champ. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. By the way, if you like this link, go ahead and, leave a like and stream it and share it, whatever. You know the drill. I haven't been gone that long. Let's see. Kane, Shamrock, Mankind, Owen Hart, Steve Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H. So we want to keep The Rock out because he's a title holder, but maybe Austin Mankind could be something we do. Our product is really weird. It's not something I'm used to, but we'll be able to get it to work. So, Austin versus Mankind. And Vince McMahon's going to be in here because Vince McMahon likes to screw Austin, and it makes sense. Actually, let's alter the description here. There we go. Also, if you're watching this right now, so I can't actually figure out where the link is for this, like how to find the link. So if someone can like send me the link in the chat. Oh, here it is. I found it. Never mind. I'm going to go ahead and go through here, and I'm going to advertise here so that we can try and get some new viewers, because, I love my viewers. You guys are the highlights of my day and the reason I do this. I'd show you both screens, but I'm not overly sure that's possible. So, and then post here. Alright, I think we're good. Now, back to this. So we have 6 teams left. We have a few guys in development. I guess Edge is already on the main roster. I want to call Christian up, honestly. I really don't know why Edge is a face at this point, but we need him to go heel. I know it's a really recent turn, and it's going to cost us as far as this goes, but I'd rather have Edge as a heel because it makes sense with the impending tag teams that we can sign. Like, we still got the Hardys down here who eventually are going to have to be called up. We have Albert, Test. We have Tiger Ali Singe. We have Michael Hayes, who is the Hardys manager. So that's a thing. Yeah. So let's go through here really quickly, because we now have a lot of wrestler vacancies. WCW doesn't really have anyone worth anything to me right now. Oh, but that might be worth something. Let's just do the right thing here. Let's get the Dudleys. And then that's really all from ECW I want right now. Let's go ahead and shortlist a few people, though. Let's shortlist RVD because he's so good at what he does. Shortlist Lance Storm because I really like him. His in-ring ability is just unparalleled at this point in time. Well, for the most part. Then we go over here to WCW, and we're going to shortlist Chavo. We're going to shortlist Booker T for obvious reasons. We're not going to negotiate. I don't know why I clicked that. We're going to shortlist Jericho and Benoit. Let's do Eddie Guerrero if he could stay off drugs. Is he on drugs at this point? No, he's not on drugs. So that's probably good. Then down through here we have Psicosis, Rey Mysterio Jr. Is Ultimo Dragon injured at this point? He's not, but he's got a little bit of damage to the legs. It's not that big of a deal at this point, but I would take a chance on him if I got the chance. And then let's grab Sting. And then let's filter to hire. Let's go Any, who's at least a regional star in America. A lot of guys that I just fired, of course, which is fine, you know, I'm not worried about it. I always take calculated risks with this stuff. Then regional level. Still not really many people here. Let's see. I guess we could sign Viscera to developmental if he'll go. Sure, why not? I wish Viscera would lose about 70 pounds, but I don't foresee that. AJ Styles isn't around at this point. AJ Styles doesn't actually debut till like 2000-ish, I believe. If he were here, I probably would pick him up. But I will sign Rhino. Yeah, other than that, then I'm going to sign some specific people for my developmental. Or for my main roster, depending. So we're going to look for excellent sex appeal in females. Look, I don't like it any more than anyone else. Okay, I prefer my women to be wrestlers, but back at this time, especially with our product, we have to have women that are extremely attractive. It's pretty crappy, but we gotta go with it. So let's see here. Oh, look, Molly Holly. And it's Ivory! Ivory, come to the main roster. Hey, maybe we'll be able to actually have a women's division, guys. Woo! Let's see. Ivory is 36 at this time, and you cannot tell. You really cannot tell, but it is a thing that is true. I could have sworn I just saw somebody here that I wanted. I feel like she worked for the WWF once. What are your characters? No? Okay. Well, regardless, there's the one female we can hire, yo. Let's have extremely high worker settings to see if we can get any females in here. I would love to have a women's division, but you can't really do that when you just don't have many workers. Who the heck is it? No. Bye, Dan Severn. We have Marlena, who is literally Terry. And we'll be going back to the Terry gimmick. And then I guess we're going to turn him back to Goldust, because it works. Oh, Dan was a... Yeah, that makes sense. Was he in the vein of Ken Shamrock? I'm a big fan of Ken Shamrock. He's actually one of my favorite superstars from this time period, so you might see some bias stuff happen. Vince Russo, you're an asshole. You're fired. Road Warrior Hawk, you're spreading rumors. Don't do that. So let's try and see if we can make Owen Hart and Steve Austin friends. Nope, that wasn't happening. Okay, so we are in New York Times Union Center. I'm okay with that. Yeah, Tilly. I figured that I know I heard his name before somewhere. I wasn't 100% sure, and I didn't want to like say something and then have it be inaccurate because that's not cool. Oh wait, why am I trying to do this off screen? Come on now. All right. So we basically are going to have this angle be Austin challenging Mankind to a match. And Vince McMahon is going to basically make it official. So then let's go and let's go with a pre-match tag team catchphrase. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. They're basically going to do their, "Oh, you didn't know" thing. And this will lead to our first tag team match of the series. Actually, before we get our first singles match, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to have the New Age Outlaws take on Edge and Christian, who will be working as heels. Edge and Christian are going to be seen on an open level, but they're going to get beaten pretty handily. You know what? We'll throw in a tag team title defense because I'm nice. Let's see. And then let's have The Rock taunt. The Rock is a heel. We need a face. Let's have The Rock taunt Ken Shamrock, because that's a good idea. That's always a good idea. And now we've got that set. Hey, now I can see. Cool. Alright, save. So then, let's get a one-on-one match. Let's have Bombastic Bob Holly take on Scott Taylor. A couple guys who are going to get gimmick rebranded. Let's see if we can give Holly some momentum, because I want to make him the cornerstone of my hardcore division eventually. I don't know if this is going to set him to hit Scotty Too Hottie with the chair, but we can certainly do it after the match. So Scotty Too Hottie is going to sell, and Bob is going to hit Scotty Too Hottie with a chair. That's not going to start a storyline because I really don't want to do a storyline between those two. It's rather the start of Bombastic Bob's gimmick change to Hardcore Holly. Alright. Then we're going to get our unfortunate session with the managers. So we're going to have Terry Sable, and Jacqueline Crash Holly is in developmental right now, and I plan to call him up within the first 6 months of this save. So just hold your horses. So then we're going to do our mandatory sex appeal segment. Not my favorite segment in the world, but you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. So after that, let's try for another tag team match. So let's go men's TEW and Dig to Go against, you know what? Let's try Taka Michinoku and Aguila. This will give Kai and Tai a quick win. Then we will see Owen Hart. He's going to call out Triple H. And they're going to fight in the main event tonight. And of course, that sets up the European Championship storyline. We'll get to how we're going to do this in a little bit. Then we will have another singles catchphrase. And this one's going to be Val Venus. Hello, ladies. Val Venus was a very entertaining character. Well, at this point, he's a mid-carder, and we're going to have him take on everyman Steven Regal. And I'm going to have Val go over. I'm going to protect Steven Regal, though, because he's someone that I really want to push in the future if he can stay clean. And that's a pretty big if, so... So then let's go with Kama Mustafa, D'Lo Brown, yeah, let's just have these two cut a promo. Just a general unscripted promo. And then let's hire, well, can we get Worker Arrive somewhere? Yes, Ken Shamrock. Then let's get a one-on-one match between Mark Marrow, who I'm probably eventually going to fire. I don't really have much for him. But for now, let's have Bradshaw beat him up. Then Ken Shamrock is going to scream at The Rock and say, "Challenge accepted!" Something in that vein, you know, Ken Shamrock style. And then... Let's have a freestyle angle. Where... Oh, I know what to do. Kane and Paul Bearer will taunt the Undertaker. And this will set up Kane versus Undertaker. Which honestly, we could do this long term, we could do this short term. It really depends on how we work Austin. Because that's the key. We have to work around Austin at this point. And then our main event, as promised, Stone Cold Steve Austin will not be involved. Instead, it will be Owen Hart against Triple H. China will cut. Nah, let's not. Let's not. That's a no-go. I thought maybe throwing China in as the special commentator, but that probably wouldn't go well. Just a hunch. Triple H is going to go ahead and retain against Owen Hart. We're going to protect Owen Hart. And there's going to be outside manager interference and outside interference. And one of the interferences is going to be from X-Pac. Wait, no, X-Pac isn't here. Billy Gunn. There we go. What? Oh, oops. Scott Taylor and Bob Holly could be a wild brawl then. Then after the match, let's see. We're gonna have a pull apart brawl. Triple H and Owen Hart are gonna get pulled apart by the remaining members of DX. As well as Vince McMahon. And that's how we'll do this. Let's roll. So, a really good angle to open up. A 100 segment is always good to start. We get Road Dogg and Billy Gunn dropping a 71. The New Age Outlaws defeating Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian show excellent chemistry. That's really good. The Rock taunts Ken Shamrock. Hardcore Holly defeats Scott Taylor. And for some reason, Holly and Jim Cornette are a good pairing, so we're gonna leave that alone. Then Hardcore Holly is going to beat up Scott Taylor, and he's gonna have to explain next week. Then we do a sex appeal dance segment, I guess. Taco, Michinoku, and Aguila don't work as a team. That's fine because Kai and Ty beat them. Owen calls out Triple H for a match. Val Venus says, "Hello, ladies," and then makes some sort of sexual comment. Val Venus defeats Steven Regal with the pile driver. Mustafa and D'Lo prepare for their tag match that we're going to have next week instead of this week since I forgot about it. Shh. Ken Shamrock is shown arriving backstage. Mark Romero gets defeated by Bradshaw. Ken Shamrock yells about The Rock and then leaves again. Very Ken Shamrocky. Kane and Paul Bearer taunt The Undertaker. Then we get Triple H defeating Owen Hart in a match that was really disappointing, honestly. And then Triple H and Owen Hart are about to brawl before DX and Vince McMahon separates them to end the show. We'll take an 82. It improved our popularity. We didn't do any permanent damage to ourselves. And that, at the end of the day, is what we look for. So, we'll take it. It wasn't a great show by any means, and I'll be the first to admit that. But it's something. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. WCW, calm down. I guess we... oh my gosh. I guess we hold monthly kitty drownings as a sadistic bonding exercise. Thanks, WCW. I hope you get negative PR. I'll laugh at you. Edge's star in the making, men's TEW is too small according to Triple H. Now Triple H, of course, well known for those kinds of comments. A wrestler is too small, oh no. Then we have this, that's fine. Yes, I found Nicole Bass. Look, she's not pretty. She's not. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend she is. But for what I need, she'll work. So yeah, so far we are one episode into this 1999 save, so that's pretty cool. Or 1998, I keep forgetting it's 98. I prefer 99, but that mod isn't out yet. When that mod is out, you should probably expect a lot of content. Alright, so we have three signings. Spike Dudley. Here's Rhino, who we're going to push as a heel. Here is Ivory, who we're going to push as a heel. WCW didn't go after any of these people, so it's not a big deal to me. And let's move on to tomorrow. Alright, now we've signed Devon Dudley, and we want the Dudleys to come in as faces. Bubba. Debbie Malenko, who is related to Dean Malenko, so we wanted to, or no, sorry. She took the Malenko last name after training with Dean Malenko. And then Molly Holly we want in developmental, so let's move on to the next day. We have more signings. Nicole Bass is signed. She's very strong though, and that's kind of why I signed her. But hey, you know, Nicole Bass, for what it's worth, was a lesbian pioneer in professional wrestling. Tilly, to answer your question, actually I do plan on it. I just gotta get through I just gotta get through a few weeks before I do it. Alright. So we have Viscera signing. Vince Russo has a wrongful termination lawsuit. I don't really care. I don't like Vince Russo. It was worth it. I'll take a lawsuit. So, Ivory. It's time, once again, for everybody to come aboard the train! I don't know. I don't know if I can actually say ho on television or on YouTube or any of this, you know? Well, whatever. Okay, so now we're going to go to our product, and we're going to add a women's division before I forget. Because now we have enough women that are capable of wrestling. Honestly, a China Nicole Bass thing, China versus Nicole Bass, could honestly do us some good. Alright, Sable, we're gonna find you someone to manage, but first, we're gonna have Terry on Goldust. Let's put Sable on We need someone with a lack of charisma here. Well, I know who I want to put on Farouk. And of course, that goes for Bradshaw too. Although she's a heel, it'll work for what it is. Honestly, I really have nothing for Sable. Nicole Bass doesn't need him, but Nicole Bass, we'd have to flip Sable heel, but her last turn was very recent, so that's a no-go. We can flip Nicole Bass. You know what? I'm gonna flip Nicole Bass face. Screw it. There we go. Wait, she can't wrestle? Why? Why? Come on. She was a good wrestler. Ah, okay. Let's go. Okay, maybe she wasn't a good wrestler, but she was competent at least. Alright. I guess we are going to move on to Monday Night Raw. We are in the Verizon Arena in Arkansas. That's pretty cool. Oh no. Oh! Hey! Jerry Lawler made Triple H be good. H is still a negative influence, but hey, you know, it's getting better. Aw. Alright. So, Vince McMahon's going to come out first, and he's going to talk about how Steve Austin is facing off against Mankind at the pay-per-view. Then Austin comes out and trash talks Vince. So basically he's going to be like, Vince, I'm going to beat Mankind and retain my world title at any cost. And if you get involved, well, I might just have to lay you out with a stunner. I think we're building up to King of the Ring, actually, which means I don't want to make the mistake I did last time. Let's go Billy Gunn, Steve Blackman, Val Venus, Road Dogg as the faces. And then as the heels, let's do Regal, Goldust, Jeff Jarrett, and D'Lo Brown. So, tonight we're going to see both members of the New Age Outlaws in action. So basically, this is just going to be a little video. And of course, if we're going to do Road Dogg in a match tonight, we're going to see Road Dogg do his pre-match catchphrase. Actually, let's make him unscripted. I really like Road Dogg's mic skills. But there again, a lot of what we do with him is contingent upon him if he can stay off drugs. So Road Dogg takes on Jeff Jarrett. Right? Yeah. Okay. And this is going to be an 8-minute match. And we're gonna make it a King of the Ring qualifier. Jeff Jarrett's going to win in a storytelling match. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not a slow build. I don't know what I'm doing. We're gonna protect Road Dogg. We're gonna have. It's gonna be a cheap win because Jeff Jarrett's not gonna win cleanly. That's just not how Jeff Jarrett works. After the match, we're gonna see can we get Worker arrive somehow? Ah. I really need a Worker arrives angle, and I don't want to do a freestyle angle for that. That's so lazy. I need to remember this. Let's see. Is there just no normal Worker arrives? We could do Worker surprisingly appears, but it's not quite right, and I know it. Or we could clone angle. We're not gonna do Goldust rubbing himself slowly. Whoa. There. Problem solved. Worker appears. Now Steve Austin is going to make his appearance. And then we are going to get... Well, let's get a different kind of match. Let's get a tag team match. Let's go with the New Midnight Express. Taking on LOD 2000. So we're going to have LOD win. And we're going to have Hardcore Holly turn on Bodacious Bart. After the match, Jim Cornette is going to tell Hardcore Holly to beat up Bodacious Bart because he's no longer in the stable. Now, let's go with pre-match catchphrase. Oh, you didn't know? Alright. And Billy Gunn's gonna come out and basically do his I'm an ass man thing. And then that will lead us to Billy Gunn versus D'Lo Brown in the second King of the Ring qualifier. And in case you haven't guessed it yet, Billy Gunn is going to pick up the victory. Honestly, I believe in Billy Gunn. I like D'Lo Brown a lot, but this is not the time to put him over. And there is going to be botched interference against D'Lo Brown by Kama Mustafa. There's also going to be botched interference by Jeff Jarrett, who doesn't want to face a member of DX. But, you know, nobody can catch Billy Gunn because he's the best wrestler in the business. And then let's do a freestyle angle. You know, I want to push Billy Gunn, so that's entirely possible. So Billy Gunn is going to be chased by Jeff Jarrett out of the ring. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. So Diva's going to shoot t-shirts. Chyna's going to do it. This, of course, is going to lead us to a women's match. Chyna is going to take on Luna Vachon. Vachon, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Anyway, Chyna's going to win. Actually, let's do the stereotype match. Still Chyna against Luna Vachon, but let's make sure to do it Divas match style so that it gets a better rating. Now, we're going to get a freestyle angle. Steve Austin is going to be with our Kevin Kelly. Actually, with our Michael Cole. And he's going to talk trash about how Vince McMahon put him in a match against Mankind. There we go. And let's unscript everybody. I think that they can all work without a script. Why? Okay, there we go. Then, since apparently we absolutely have to have a car crash match, let's start pushing it, shall we? Let's go Bradshaw against... Do we have a heel that can brawl? Yes, we do. His name is Al Snow, but we can't push Al Snow over Bradshaw at this point. But we can set it to Wild Brawl. And we could set it open all out, and so that's pretty cool. Then we're going to have Hardcore Holly come out and explain his actions. So next week, he's going to talk to Vince McMahon about bringing the Hardcore title back. Now, we're going to follow that up with a tag team match. We haven't had many of those tonight, if any, actually. JOB Squad. Beautiful. Actually, we're going to see if... Well... Kama Mustafa. Wait. Let's go Mark Henry and Farouk against Kama Mustafa and... Val Venus. No. Maybe. Yeah. Val Venus... I know it's not face versus heel quite, but if Val Venus and Kama Mustafa work, that could be really interesting. Anyway, we all know Farouk's gonna win. After the match, though, Kama Mustafa is going to be beaten up by D'Lo Brown. This leads to our main event, and in case you were born under a rock, of course, we know Austin is going at it with Mankind. We also know The Rock is going at it with Ken Shamrock. So, Austin and Shamrock take on Mankind and The Rock. We're going to have Austin win. But there's going to be a lot of screwy stuff going on. We're going to have The Rock turn on Mankind because The Rock is very selfish. We're going to have outside interference against Steve... Well, no. We're going to have distraction against Steve Austin by Vince McMahon. Oh, jeez. Uncle John's here. I don't have Deborah signed. Come on now. Give me some time. And then after the match, we're going to have Mankind beaten up by Steve Austin. And then, to end the show, we're going to have Austin drink a bunch of beer. Because 90s, that's why. Alright, let's roll. Another perfect segment. Mankind and Steve Austin are doing a lot for us right now. King of the Ring is fine for what it is. Good catchphrase by Road Dogg. Jeff Jarrett defeats Road Dogg in a solid match. Steve Austin arrives. I really wish that text was edited. LOD defeats Midnight Express. And that's fine for what it is. Hardcore Holly turns on Bodacious Bart. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with him. I might send him to developmental. Anyway, Billy Gunn does his catchphrase. And he and D'Lo don't click, but he beats D'Lo after a bit of interference. Billy Gunn gets chased away by Jeff Jarrett. Chyna fires a bunch of t-shirts into the crowd because, you know, typical 90s sex appeal segment. Then Chyna defeats Luna Vachon. Steve Austin talks to Michael Cole about how he wants to beat the crap out of Mankind and how he's sick of Vince McMahon doing all kinds of crap to him. Bradshaw defeats Al Snow in our hardcore match, which was just actually a barroom brawl. Holly explains his actions, saying that he's tired of being in a tag team. He wants to show he's better. And he demands to talk to Vince. Obviously, he can't go off script. Farouk and Mark Henry defeat Kama Mustafa and Val Venus. That didn't work. Then Kama Mustafa gets beaten up by D'Lo. Then in our main event, a really nice match. Steve Austin and Ken Shamrock defeat Mankind and The Rock after The Rock turns on Mankind. And Mankind gets beaten up by Steve Austin. Mankind just having a really bad day. And Austin drinks a bunch of beer to end the show. An 83, not bad. We'll take it for what it is. All right, we have unread emails. Is this who I think it is? Isn't this guy signed to our roster? No? Okay. Speaking of Deborah, though, you do bring up a good point, Uncle John. Let's grab Deborah. Exactly. That's look, Tilly, that is Stone Cold Steve Austin's logic on everything. He just comes in, saves somebody, and then stuns him. I mean, it's just how it is, you know? Steve Austin has 99 popularity. I want to try to get him to 100, of course. Let's roll on to Raw number 3 of 1998. Of course, thank you to all our viewers. I sincerely appreciate y'all stopping by, and hopefully you're actually really enjoying this. This is going to be my primary save for a while. I really like 1998, and I feel like I can do some really good things with this, so we'll see what happens, right? But like I said earlier at the top of the broadcast, I'm sorry I haven't been around much lately. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. A lot of it is very personal, and I don't really want to get into it at the moment. But I think that I'm better now. I think that I can handle this, so let's see what happens. And we have signed Deborah. Glenn Ruth is muscular, and Dustin Rhodes and Terry have divorced. Think Goldust will get fired by the time that, you know... Anyway, Deborah's here, so... Well, no, Deborah's not here for a week, but... I'm gonna put her on Stone Cold. And the big thing with Deborah is she's got the sex appeal we have to have for our older fans. The 88 sex appeal is just such a big coup when it comes to this game. I can have her in bikini contest, wet t-shirt. Oh, the 90s, man, I tell you. All right, so Macho Man. What? Oh, no, it's not Rio. Okay. X-Pac's back. You know, the guy named X-Pac. I can't quite do it, but RVD is written. Shane Douglas, I've thought about getting. He's under a PPA contract. Right now, I don't know if I have a spot for him. I need to see how old he is. Yeah, he's 33. Oh, he doesn't want to work for me. Never mind. Goldust will try to save Deborah, and then Stone Cold just stuns them all, because that's how it goes. Alright, so week 3 of June 1998, and let's see if we can make Steve Austin some friends, shall we? Hey, Austin and The Rock are friends! Good. About time. So to start out, we're gonna have Mankind live in his boiler room. And Austin and McMahon argue in the ring. So technically they're all on screen, just, you know, all doing different things. After that, let's have our third King of the Ring qualifier, actually. As soon as we need to see show history. Well, that's not good. Well, we can still pull it off, I think. So, mid-carders. Steve Blackman and Steve Blackman and Steven Regal will fight to see who moves on. We're gonna have Steven Regal win with a low blow. I wish I could specify that. I can't. Just in case you're curious, that's what happened. Then we're gonna have Steve Austin taunt Mankind and tell him that if he wants to fight that bad, Austin will meet him in the boiler room. Then we'll get another one-on-one match. Gangrel is finally going to get his debut. And he will fight against Draws. And Draws is just our jobber. Let's just call it as it is. Not slow build. Come on now. Then let's have a freestyle angle where Triple H is going to basically talk about how much he hates Owen Hart. I will show free agents. I will show free agents at the start of next month, and we'll go from there. I've already signed a few of them, but there's just not much. I picked up the Dudley Boys. They're in developmental right now. I want to keep them down there until Devon's face performance comes up a little, just so that we're all set and can have some actual good things happening. So now let's go X-Pac against Jeff Jarrett. Since Jeff Jarrett seems to be en route to facing the rest of DX. Jarrett's going to win. It's going to be tainted. After the match, we're going to get a save from one-on-one. Where Billy Gunn is going to save X-Pac from Jeff Jarrett. Hence, that advances the angle a little more. Then we get another one-on-one. This should be our other King of the Ring qualifier. Goldust is a heel. The face is Val Venus. And Val Venus is going to pick up the victory. And then after the match, Val is going to be beaten up by Steven Regal. After that, we're going to do a freestyle angle. And Hardcore Holly is going to ask Vince McMahon to reinstate the Hardcore title. Vince is going to say no. Yeah, you know, you're not wrong. Joey Ryan and Val Venus really do have a lot of similarities. It's just a thing. Then we're going to have our typical sex appeal match. A lingerie match. I really wish that our product was more curtailed to not sex appeal, but nonetheless, Ivory is going to fight Nicole Bass, and Ivory is going to win by DQ. because we're going to get a beatdown in the ring where Nicole Bass and Sable are just going to tear apart Ivory. Then that leads us to our dangerous match. Our hardcore match, if you will. Where Hardcore Holly will take on Bradshaw. You know, Tilly, you bring up a good point. That's somewhere along the line of what I was thinking. Bradshaw's going to win. In our car crash match. After the match, Hardcore is going to throw a fit. And Vince McMahon's going to... he's going to throw a fit at Vince McMahon, who's not going to be on screen. And then Shane McMahon's going to come out and accept the challenge. And that leads us to this, a one-on-one match. We need an upper mid-card one-on-one. Skip Farouk against D'Lo. And let's have Farouk win. Due to a distraction against D'Lo from Kama Mustafa. And that leads us to our main event. There are no women here right now. It's bad. I'm trying to rebuild the women's division, but since we only have 5 women regularly, 2 of them are already booked, we have a couple managers, there's just nothing yet. Once I get the ability to grab more women, I'm going to though. So, now we're going to feature our other 2 main event feuds. We're going to get Triple H and The Undertaker against Owen Hart and Kane. Rikishi is down in developmental as well. I will eventually call him up, but I know he needs work. So, we're going to protect and keep Kane strong. And we're going to have interference against we're going to have interference against Owen Hart by Chyna. And then after the match, Kane is going to get beaten up by The Undertaker. Well, no. The Undertaker is going to get beaten up by Kane, not Kevin Kelly. There we go. Do we have the Big Show? No. Alright, let's roll. Another 100 segment. 3rd 100 in a row for the opener. So that's pretty nice. Regal defeats Blackman in a solid match. Austin interviews Mankind. Gangrel defeats Droz. Triple H talks about how he, in real life, hates Owen Hart. Because that is an actual thing. Jeff Jarrett beats X-Pac. X-Pac is being attacked by Jeff Jarrett, so Billy Gunn comes and chases him off. Venus beats Goldust. Let's do our gimmick change. It's not a bad gimmick. Goldust is wasted. We'll have to deal with that. Regal attacks Venus. Holly asks Vince to reinstate the title. Ivory defeats Nicole Bass. Then Nicole and Sable attack Ivory. Bradshaw defeats Hardcore Holly in a pretty solid match. Holly screams at Vince, and Shane says if Holly beats him, he can have the trash title Farouk defeats D'Lo in a very solid match, actually. This is something we'll have to go back to the well on. And then in our main event, Triple H and The Undertaker win their match. Unfortunately, not as good a match as we're used to seeing, but we will take it. A third week in a row where we're gaining popularity is never a bad thing. So, we have unread emails and decisions. Goldust, look, quit doing drugs, please. Actually, there's one more person I need to shortlist. Paul White. Oh yeah, I already picked, well, Jacqueline was with us. Nora is actually in our development as well. We have her here. But she's 20, and I want to get her a little bit of experience first. She's got no popularity yet. Like, 1 popularity is not enough to justify. This is our developmental, though. It's solid for what it is, but we need a lot of work. Tess is probably one of our next call-ups, as are the Hardys. Rhino's up here on this list, and the Dudleys. Other than that, I kind of want everybody else to sit. This is Debbie Malenko, Deborah Killian. She's pretty good. Actually, in ring, she's really fantastic for this era. So she's someone that we can call up occasionally to help us. She has no mic skills, though, in the vein of a true Malenko. So let's move on, shall we, to week 4 of June. Now, of course, you can kind of see it on my background a little bit. There is a picture of Chris Benoit. That's because Chris Benoit and CM Punk felt necessary for my background. I don't condone what Chris Benoit did, but I appreciate him as a wrestler. He was a phenomenal wrestler. CM Punk, meanwhile, he's kind of got the same thing going, minus the killing the wife thing. You know, I don't appreciate what he did outside the ring, but in the ring, fantastic. So we have a show. Goldberg, I'll shortlist you, but I won't like it. He was, and look, you can't deny how good Chris Benoit was in the ring. He just made magic happen every time. His series with Kurt Angle, just such a phenomenal match. His best of 7 with Booker T, I believe it was. There were just so many really good things that he did for the business. And yeah, no, he's never going to make the WWE Hall of Fame, although, you know, I disagree strongly with that, especially considering that Jimmy Snook is in there, among other people, but Benoit should be in a Wrestling Hall of Fame somewhere, and we should just remember him as who he was, because he was a phenomenal wrestler. Benoit wasn't. And you can't, look, no one can make the argument that Chris Benoit was okay. He was pretty mentally not there. Alright. So winner of this one-on-one match between Mankind against Stone Cold gets the stipulation. I usually don't give away these kind of matches on free TV, but it makes sense this time. So we're going to get a pre-match catchphrase by Billy Gunn. And Billy Gunn versus Jeff Jarrett is going to happen tonight. Chris versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, I've seen it. It's a very fantastic match. I don't agree that it's my favorite match, but I really liked it as a match, so. Personally, my favorite match of all time is Edge versus The Undertaker from, I believe it was WrestleMania 24, 5, something like that. I also really liked Rock Austin from WrestleMania 17. Those two matches I think will forever go down in wrestling history as two of the greatest. And then I really liked this last WrestleMania. I thought that the Roman Undertaker match told a story. Whether or not it was on purpose, that's another story. But like the Undertaker in his last ride not being able to really do much against Roman, and it told such a good story by accident, just by complete accident. Let's see. So Jeff Jarrett is going to be a sore loser. And he's going to beat Billy Gunn up. Billy Gunn, of course, didn't bring any backup because he's a face right now. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker was also a very good match. Honestly, Taker's put on so many good matches, and he really deserves to retire in peace now. So then let's get Shane McMahon. He's going to have a match with Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman? Yeah, Steve Blackman to warm himself up. Let's see. Let's prepare to turn Shane McMahon. He might be better off as a... Oh, he just turned. Dang it. Okay, fine. And then after the match, we're going to get Hardcore Holly beating up Shane McMahon. Look, if The Undertaker, for some reason, doesn't get into the Hall of Fame, then that Hall of Fame is the most irrelevant piece of crap ever. You know, The Rock isn't even in the Hall of Fame. Fun fact. Alright, pre-match singles catchphrase. We're going to go with Road Dogg, who's going to have a match today. It's not a King of the Ring qualifier or anything since he got eliminated, but we're going to have Road Dogg in a match against not D'Lo. Let's get Mark Merrow. And we're going to have Road Dogg pick up a victory. So we're going to have The Rock appear. Then our other King of the Ring semifinal, Val Venus against Steven Regal. And look, love Regal, his push can come another day. Wait, no. Let's have Steven Regal go over. I trust him. After the match, we're going to have a face-off but no contact between Steven Regal and Billy Gunn, because that's going to be King of the Ring. A number of backstage personnel are going to separate them. Then we need our bikini contest. So Jerry Lawler goes to the ring and he's going to be a perv because that's what he does best. So we're going to have Terry, Sable, Ivory, Jacqueline, and Chyna. Yeah, no, I'd be really surprised if Taker comes back ever. Because he has nothing else to prove, you know? So then we're going to get The Rock taking on X-Pac. And actually he's going to defend his Intercontinental title. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? We're going to have X-Pac go over, but it's going to be a cheap win and a tainted win. It's going to be a DQ finish when The Rock is attacked by Owen Hart. Or not Owen Hart, sorry. Ken Shamrock. So then The Rock and Ken Shamrock are going to brawl backstage until one of them escapes. Rock Pac. Oh, jeez. And then Stone Cold is going to come out and say he's going to beat the tar out of Mankind. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. So Steve Austin takes on Mankind one-on-one. This is a non-title match. Mankind is going to pick up the victory. We're going to protect Steve Austin. We're going to keep Steve Austin strong. Open match, slow build. It's going to be tainted because Mankind is going to cheat a little. And Steve Austin is also going to get distracted by Vince McMahon. Actually, here's our wild brawl between Road Dogg and Mero. Then after the match, we're going to see Steve Austin attacked by Mankind. We're going to cut a minute off something. I'm not really sure what. Let's cut a minute off this. It's not a storyline. And then Mankind is going to say that he and Steve Austin will fight. You know, you're not wrong, Mike. Mankind makes it a last man standing match at King of the Ring. And let's roll. Perfect start again. Good start for Billy Gunn. Good match between Jeff Jarrett and Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn moves on to the King of the Ring finals. Jeff Jarrett's mad, so he attacks Billy Gunn. Shane McMahon, not a great in-ring worker, that's fine. Holly beats him up. Road Dogg takes the mic. I missed that match. I don't really know what it was. Rock arrived and did well. Steven Regal defeats Val Venus to move on to the finals. And he's wasted. So that means Billy Gunn's winning King of the Ring, guys. The King hosts a bikini contest. X-Pac defeats The Rock in a really good match, actually. The Rock and Ken Shamrock start brawling. Austin does his catchphrase. And 88 for this match. And it wasn't even at the pay-per-view. Mankind beats down Austin, and Mankind says it's going to be a last man standing. And just to clarify, oh wow, in 89, not bad. And just to clarify, Road Dogg Mark Merrow was an 80 or a 65, I should say. And let's move on. That was really good. That was the best show that I honestly could have booked Raw-wise. And that was actually the first time I've ever booked a Raw storyline to make it feel like I could actually run a Raw. Steven, I'm going to give you the same punishment I gave Goldust. Don't do drugs. Apparently Regal can promo though, so that's a thing. Hopefully we didn't hurt Steve Austin's popularity much. Oh, it went up? Are you serious? Whoa, okay. And Mankind's is going up? That is fantastic. That is actually fantastic. Alright, let's do King of the Ring, and then that will be the end of the video, but let's do King of the Ring first. I'm really hyped about this pay-per-view. Hopefully round 2 doesn't disappoint. Yeah, Regal's fantastic on the mic, and honestly, he should have been a world champ. If he didn't have the drug issues, I would push him hard in this game. That's the thing, though, is I don't want to push somebody who does drugs because that makes them a liability. And we don't need liabilities if we can avoid it. And we are almost to Sunday, and we should have a nice new mouthpiece for Jeff Jarrett, so that'll be pretty cool. Honestly, I'd push RVD if I could get him, but that's just not a thing. Here, Jerry, you can have a pay raise. Deborah's here. Anyway. Deborah, you are going to manage Jeff Jarrett. Well, let's look at Rob Van Dam then, shall we? That's Rob Conway. Rob Van Dam. Yeah, the soft drugs. I don't know. It's still worth looking into him. Because he's got a lot of talent when he's not being stupid. Locker room controls. Let's see. Let's try this again. Will you two be friends already, man? Okay. So, let's book our main event first so that we can get it out of the way. And honestly, we can make this a pretty good match. I know they're not ready for this, yeah. But we can definitely do an epic, actually. Steve Austin wins. We're going to keep strong and protect Mankind. Open, slow build, 10 count finish. But there's also going to be outside interference against Steve Austin from Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is also going to be the replacement referee. And Jerry Lawler is gone right now, so we have to use Jim Cornette. That's cool. Then let's get our European title match. HHH and Owen Hart. You know, I don't know. Because honestly, I don't really care for pushing Vince McMahon much. I care for pushing the actual in-ring talent, but I don't know, maybe something we look into. Cornette against Russo. I fired Russo's ass, actually. Actually suing us right now, so we're probably gonna get that lawsuit on our hands. Triple H is gonna win anyway. And hot tub death match. Dang it. Okay. Our King of the Ring match, our King of the Ring title match, I should say, is going to be between Steven Regal and Billy Gunn. I always really like to push Billy Gunn. I think he's got a lot more potential than everyone says he does. He's very good. So we're going to do a storytelling match, open all out. And we're not even going to protect Steven Regal because I'm mad at him right now. So then we get a tag team championship match, which we didn't build to at all. No, we can't do that. That's fine. Then we get a one-on-one, and this one will be the Intercontinental Championship match. The Rock takes on Ken Shamrock. In an Intercontinental Championship match. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Anyway. Protect Ken Shamrock. Oh, dang it! I passed the title to X-Pac again. Actually, this is the second time I've done this. The New Age Outlaws are my, my tag champs. But right now, Billy Gunn's kind of in this match. Well, I guess we get a nice little cool down before the world title match. So that's pretty cool. X-Pac takes on Jeff Jarrett, so we can work around it. I don't know why the title changed hands. It was a DQ. I set it as a DQ. We're going to protect X-Pac. And we're going to try this again because this shouldn't be happening. There's going to be managerial interference somewhere in here too. Alright, there's those matches. Let's get our Diva match. Chyna takes on Nicole Bass for the world title. Chyna's going to pick up the win. We're going to put Jim Cornette on the stand as well as Ivory. And after the match, Chyna's going to be attacked by Sable. We're going to get a Pre-match spectacular singles entrance from Steve Austin. Actually, really? Remind me of that. I might go pick her up. Mankind will also get a spectacular entrance. Since Austin's going over, we're gonna go with a post-match celebration. And Austin's just gonna get drunker. There we go. Then we were gonna have a Kane versus Undertaker match, but that didn't happen due to Kane and Undertaker not being able to stop brawling. So a 10-minute match. I want to make sure Jim Cornette is in every segment. Actually, we'll put Michael Cole in these entrance segments just because I want to see if Cole and Ross work together well. And then, finally, our last match. It's going to be a hardcore match between Hardcore Holly and Shane McMahon. We're going to have this be a car crash. Hardcore Holly's going to win. We're going to give Shane McMahon a stump bump at least. No? Really? Fine. Holly will take one. No? Really? Okay then. So that means the Hardcore Championship will be back as soon as Raw. Let's roll. Rock Shamrock, 83, good start. Triple H Owen Hart, another good match. Great backstage brawl between Kane and The Undertaker. Chyna defeats Nicole Bass. Chyna gets beaten up by Sable. That's our TNA levels. Steven Regal loses to Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is the king of the ring. Holly defeats Shane McMahon. Jeff Jarrett defeats X-Pac. Jeff Jarrett and Deborah have excellent chemistry. That's fantastic news. Mankind makes a spectacular entrance, as does Steve Austin. A 91 match as Steve Austin pulls the upset over Mankind. And Austin gets drunk to end the show. And another 89. Thank you, Steve Austin. X-Pac, great performance. And Ivory, some encouragement. Just a fantastic job by a lot of our people. So that was a show that we really needed going into next month. So let's go to companies really quickly. We do not have a miscongeniality. Let's make sure there are no alumni. Not that we care about. Yeah, she's not around yet. But I tell you what, we're going to look around for rookies here. Chuck Palumbo's worth a developmental signing, I think. Hey, it's Mystico. Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's just not much here. Like, I don't know. Billy and Chuck. Can we not? Can we not? Let's see. Vince Russo, basically 189,000. I don't really care. M Pro made an offer, and he's considering it. So now we swoop in and grab Landstorm. Also, we beat WCW, so that's the thing. Now the question is, did Mankind's popularity? Yeah, it got damaged a little, but Steve Austin still got 100, so that's pretty cool. Vince McMahon is getting a lot of popularity from this angle. Billy Gunn is not quite a main eventer, but he's getting there. I wish he had better charisma and mic skills, but I think that will come with age. I wish Triple H was turnable right now. But yeah, so this has been our first month, and we were pretty successful so far. So you guys are just gonna have to tune in next time to see what happens during month 2. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and you will not be wasting your time to come see month 2, because I've got a lot more surprises where that came from. Thank you all, and good